Just so we'll go from here because may
Does
as
that
well.
sound good?
Yeah, you're good.
Cool.
So we have no actual talking points. So this one's just gonna be kind of talking about whatever. But yeah, I my car had no tires, so I've been forced to go on walks now to get out of the house because I no longer have a car to drive somewhere. It's awful. I'm so bored.
Physical activity.
Physical activity, yeah. I'd rather just drive to my local Whataburger, and that's my going out for the day. But now I have to go for a walk that takes 30 minutes. I don't go get food. I just walk around the block.
Bro, just get a bike. It's
I think
cheaper.
the last time I've ridden a bike was like the start of high school.
I have 2 bikes in my garage that you can have,
I wouldn't use them.
but you have to come and get it.
I don't even have a car to come get them with. Speaking of which, are we gonna go to a bar anytime soon?
I don't know.
Or you want to wait till your eyes are done?
I'm waiting on you kids.
I'm waiting on you.
Oh no, I don't have to get to.
Kid?
Yeah, kids.
I'll have you know we're
I'm
all
the
of
dad
legal
of this
drinking
group,
age.
thank you very
This is
much.
true. This is true. We are the 3 boys. He's so shocked by this news. We decided on this before we even started this podcast.
Whoa. He might be the dad, but we're not kids. We are boys. God damn it.
Boys.
Sorry, boys.
We're not men, but we're boys.
A slight upgrade. Nelly is currently muted for anybody wondering. He is currently, I think he's cleaning up his room. Is what he said he was doing.
He had chicken fingers laying all over the place.
Just everywhere. Man makes chicken fingers daily. So, Ryan, have you watched or seen the intro of the Phasmophobia of me and Mezzy when we were playing?
I have not.
You should watch that real quick. The intro alone was really funny, but Mezzy and I finally got Phasmophobia, or I finally bought it. I think Mezzy had it for like a day or two beforehand. And
yeah.
Man, that was so much fun. As a matter, after this podcast, I'm ready to go play some more. It's dark outside for me, so I'm gonna close the blinds, turn off all the lights, and be ready to play.
It's dark out.
But man, that was so much fun though. I could not stop. Like, it was just the whole thing felt creepy and it felt good. It was like actually being in one of the watching one of those ghost hunting shows. So it was pretty entertaining.
Some ghost adventures type shit.
Exactly.
You have to send me the link to it.
It should be in the general chat or media chat. It's like it's the first one, not the second one.
Saying is I don't pay attention.
We don't talk a whole lot, so it shouldn't be too hard to find.
True. We're all because most of us do the talking in voice chat, not over text, on the group chat or in the general chat.
It's because none of us like to fucking type. Because my keyboard sucks dick for typing.
We have the same keyboard now, don't we?
Yep.
I like it for typing. It feels good. I like it.
I don't know, dude.
It's what, K70 low profile?
Yeah.
I like it. So
it's nice. It's nice for gaming, but like for continuous typing, I don't like it.
It feels good because you can know when someone's about to go in, and like in League of Legends, when I was about to start a fucking fight, I click my keyboard, like the Q or WE buttons really quickly, and Matt's like, oh shit, Nelly's getting down into some trouble over there or something like that.
You just hear the
except much harder.
Except much harder. I can't slam hard enough, the mic won't pick it up, so
I can't pick it up from here now. Actually, yeah, I can.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's been fun. I've been playing some League on my own time. Okay, so I said this on Twitter, and I know you responded to it, Nelly, but yesterday I played one game of League of Legends. It didn't upset me. I was just really confused. I just was like, it's not worth playing today. I played one game, and the one game I had my bot lane, the dual lane on the bottom, my ADC was running around in mid the whole game and following Vladimir mid around the whole time. And all they kept typing in the chat was, I'm scared, I don't want to be alone. And I was like, this dude was so mad about this person following him around. I'm like, bro, just chill, it's a troll. He's just trying to make you mad. So he finally disconnects from the game after like 10 minutes of the game because he's like, I can't do this. I just can't do it anymore. And he left. And but I was like, all right, well, that's going to be my one League game for the day. I was pretty much done after that. But then I started scrolling through Twitch to try to watch some League and see if I could see anybody on. And I kind of went through a different of the top people. I don't know who I watched, but just a couple of them. And dude, they were all dealing with the same issue, which was just like, there's like, oh, this guy is inting, like maybe he's not good at the game. And then there was like this, and this was like full on troll. Like somebody was on an alt account purposely throwing. And I was like, why are there so many people throwing today on League? But then I thought maybe it's because it's the weekend and maybe there's just a bunch of people on. Like, I don't know what it was, but it was weird, man.
All the kids are home.
All the kids are home, yeah, yeah, we all home for the past 7 fucking months, but
yeah, true.
Yeah,
God,
it was
dude.
weird.
Kids are disgusting. I will forever stick to that.
Mezzy does not want kids in the future at all.
This girl's changing my mind.
I'm not against that either. I mean, they're ridiculously expensive. You know, I want to enjoy myself first. You know, as much as I appreciate my education, that shit was like $1 million. Took me through 16 years of private school.
Yeah,
Not
our
worth
school was expensive. That's
Jesus
for sure.
fucking Christ.
What?
What?
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
how much was tuition at BL? Like,
when we were there, it was about 15,000 a year.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's
when I was at Christ the King, I was about 5,500 a year, and I was there 8 years. And then at St. Edward's, it was 52,000 a year.
Those sound like Christian private schools.
They are.
They are Christian private schools. It was 16 years of it.
So you paid a fuck ton of money to a cult. Nice.
I didn't pay anything. Okay.
Yeah. Dude, a lot of the
I didn't pay a
teachers there
dime.
were a lot of the teachers there. Well, I say a lot of them. A few of the teachers there were only working there because if you worked there for 4 years before your kid came, you got a discount on the tuition. So as soon as their kid got through school, then they quit working there. Which I was like, teachers working only to get their kid through the school. Interesting.
That
Like,
actually
that's
happens.
what I'm
That
on.
actually happens a lot of places.
That's probably
A lot of schools do that.
yeah, relatively common.
Part of the
but-
reason I didn't get into Jesuit. I didn't get into Jesuit because my mother was working at EST at the time to help pay for school,
Whack.
and the vice principal was like, I don't know what she did, but she spoke to like a Jesuit employee, like rep, because they do rep like talks about because like
Yeah.
Christ the King and Jesuit were like really well connected.
Yeah, y'all were feeder schools, or they were feeder
Yeah,
schools.
absolutely. Yeah, like 20, like 90% of the boys that went from Christ the King went to Jesuit.
Yeah.
And apparently she told like someone at Jesuit that I was going to go to EST because my mom was working there, and I was like, my grades aren't bad, my attendance is spotless. When my mother made me go to school, even if I was vomiting, like it just didn't make sense to me. So I went to BL.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Mezzy, you've been playing the new hunting game. I can never remember what it's called.
It's called Call of the Wild.
Call of the Wild. Mezzy's really been enjoying that one.
Yeah, so I really like the idea of hunting and like tracking animals and shit. I think it's sick just sitting in a blind, making calls and
It's
waiting
so
for an
boring in real
animal to
life.
walk up on you. Yeah, it's boring as hell. But for some reason right now this has just been so refreshing because I just go and find a spot in the woods. I sit down in a bush and I start putting out calls for like I usually do like 5 calls, wait like 90 seconds, and then do a couple of calls every 90 seconds. And you just sit and wait for like 5 to 10 minutes. And sometimes you get stuff, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you've got to actually like track stuff by their calls. When they like do a mating call or a warning call, you've got to kind of play around that and be super quiet, and so it's slow as fuck. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I have put like 15 hours into it now, and I think I've like barely touched it. For an open world hunting game, it's fucking huge.
When did you get it?
Shoot, like the day we got Phasmophobia.
Okay. Cause I got.
Are you guys gonna?
Huh?
Are you gonna play that tonight? Phasmophobia.
Yeah. Plan
Yeah,
is
we
to
are.
do some more
I
YouTube
might-
videos.
I could join you guys if you want. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's a YouTube two-person thing.
It's up to 4.
No. Well, I mean, like your YouTube series.
Oh, I mean, we're just recording ourselves getting scared like little girls. That's about it. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm excited to keep going in Phasmophobia here, simply because hold on. I'm excited to keep going because apparently I was doing research. I was looking up how to use the crucifix in the game because we were both still dying even though we bought a crucifix. But apparently you unlock more maps as you level up and your by surviving and making money, and you unlock like there's a school and an asylum that you can unlock. And I was like, I want to do those. Those sound like fun.
That sounds
But
fun.
they said the guide that I was reading mentioned that if you do those, that you probably want a 4-man group for it because the maps are really, really big and you do not move fast at all. The movement speed in that game is like slower than a fucking turtle.
Yeah, it is. It's really stressful once you see the ghost because it's moving so quick.
You know you can't get away. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm
I
terrified
found
of that stuff.
I
But
found, yeah,
fun.
no, that's why it's great. I was like, at first I was like, I won't be that scared. But then when I turn off all the lights, close the curtains, and you just like let yourself like enjoy it, you just start to get super terrified. And you're like, oh, fuck. Because you get like all sorts of different stuff. It responds to your voice. And that's what makes it fucking scary to me, is that it's not so much that like regular ghost hunting games where it's like, oh, we'll just walk around and then at this point in time, the game's going to do something. It's based off of you talking to the ghost. So even if you're talking in Discord, the game asks you if it can use your default mic. And so the ghosts are listening to your microphone. So even if you're talking in Discord and you say the ghost's name and stuff like that, you can piss it off and make it start doing stuff and hunting you. And
Come
so
here,
it's
shorty.
yeah, it's really like the whole first video was like Messi being like, "Come here, you got bitch tits energy," and he was like calling the ghost to pussy. I'm like, "Fucking stop, bro, we're gonna die." My fucking ass is
I
the
would
one
do
who
that.
died. I'm
You
the
only
one who
died
died.
once. I
Yeah,
died
it's
the
true.
rest. Fuck
Yeah,
off.
you died the rest, but I still died the first time after I was like, I'm sacrificing you, and then I died. So yeah, that was it was an unfortunate turn of events, but it's but that's what makes it good in my opinion, is just the fact that it's all voice like recognition and voice activated. It makes it feel very what you call it, you get immersed in the game.
Real.
Yeah, very real. You get it's way more immersive that way. So I've enjoyed that a lot. You can only carry 3 items, which at first I was really annoyed with because I was like, there's so much shit that you want to carry, but I was like, 3 items is just like not enough. But
It's only hard if you don't have more people.
yeah, but it adds a nice little challenge to it of like trying to figure out who's gonna do what and how you're gonna do it. And then trying to set up the cameras to catch the ghost or to catch the orb, looking for the clues to the types of ghost. Like overall, it's a lot of fun. And then if you don't act like a tough guy and pretend not to be scared, you just let yourself get scared and shit like that, it becomes way even more fun afterwards. So thoroughly
Sounds like
enjoying
something I
that
would
game.
hate.
Really?
Yeah.
You not like scary stuff?
I don't do scary very well.
You should
I
definitely
don't do
join us
scary.
then. It's
I don't
so
do
good.
scary either, but I'm gonna join them. I think
I might
dad,
join you for a round and then just refund it afterwards.
you can
'Cause it just
try it,
pissed
see if
me
you
off.
like it. It's so much fun though. I mean, like once you get into it with a group, it's a lot of fun. I'm thinking maybe even this next time we should start bringing some alcohol into it as well and just see how crazy it gets.
Bet, dude, I've got a fucking box of Black Label right here.
I've got some stuff downstairs that I can grab. There you
Fucking
go.
whiskey, Johnny Walker blended Scotch whiskey. I'm ready to get fucked up.
How old are you?
22?
We're
What do you
both
mean?
we're all the same age except for Ryan. That's why he's the dad.
Might be a child, but I like whiskey.
You like the finer things.
I
The finer
do.
things in life.
I really want to get one of those things that like melts the ice cube into a perfect ball.
Oh wait, I have those. I have one of those.
Oh,
It's a pepper
dude.
ball. It's like this big, dude. And then
Yeah.
we've got the good old fucking like Viking sized glass like the mugs, like the big ass mugs, and we chill them in the freezer. So anytime you get alcohol, you pour it in there. Get a fucking big old ball of ice in there with a big ass mug, and it feels great.
Uh,
The way to
my
live.
life would be complete.
But so yeah, Phasmophobia has been fun. Ryan hasn't been around a whole lot. He's been working most of the time.
Lots of work.
Lots of work.
Kind of what I do.
Yeah. How's work been going?
Not bad. Not bad
Yeah.
actually. Keeping busy. Just taking one day as it comes.
They
I
give you
did
any?
see something the other day though. I remember y'all saying that y'all play Among Us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played
Or
it
y'all
recently,
did play. I
but
don't know if you still do. Did y'all see that somebody made Among Us in VR chat?
I did not.
That'd be
It's
sick.
it's
That's
actually
cool.
pretty funny. They made it. Well, I'd probably say like 75% functional.
Did you add it? Did you? Okay, really quick question. Did you add a mosaic overlay to your camera?
No, the pixels
It was
are
like it looks like
No,
it
it's
looks,
huge.
it's nothing but perfect little squares everywhere.
No, it's because my camera sucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on,
We'll
dude.
just
Where's your
we'll
gamer
just
girl 4K webcam?
we'll
I
just
don't need one. I have my gamer girl lives with me. I don't need a camera.
That's fair. We'll just pretend that he has an
I
overlay.
have a filter on. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just do that.
Yeah.
His dog filter. What was he last time? That first video?
Oh, like raccoon.
A
I
raccoon.
remember.
It was
Yeah.
like a raccoon. Yeah, it was like a red.
Yeah.
So Among Us in VR chat, huh?
Yeah, I posted the video in general. If you
Gotcha.
want
I'll
to look
have
at
to
it, it's
check.
pretty.
They've updated the game since we've played. I think they've made it so that voting is anonymous now. You don't
Well,
get to see the
they've
color of
added
the voting.
Oh
they've
really?
added
Okay.
maps too.
Oh, did
I
they
think.
Have
really?
they?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely
Yeah.
down.
At least I've seen people in other maps than what I've seen.
Okay.
But
There's 3 maps total, at least when we played.
I was on
There's
it
more than
last night, and I saw only the 3.
that.
I guess I just don't pay
But-
attention to that.
Is there
and
like DLC or anything for it then?
Probably not.
For the new maps?
I just know that they
90K.
made some voting anonymous, which seems like it'd be good stuff if you were
I like that.
the imposter, because then you can just I mean, like that's half the loss of playing that game is
Is
like
knowing who voted for who.
just trying so hard to figure out at like round 1 who the bad people are based on like voting and movement and stuff. So if like 2 people vote one person and 2 people vote the rest, you don't get to see those 2 colors. You
Yeah.
can't be like, oh, but well, orange and red voted for black, and we're voting red off, and red was an imposter, so it's obviously orange. It's like it just ruins it. So that the anonymous factor, I think, makes it a little more interesting and a little less one-sided
My
in terms
cat
of like
is
the voting section.
freaking out outside. I'm gonna be right back if y'all want to keep talking. My cat is like just absolutely going wild.
What have you been playing lately, Neely?
WoW, World of Warcraft. Their pre-patch came out for Shadowlands, so
Ooh.
they crunched the levels from 1 to 120 to 1 to 60 now.
Never mind. She's just going crazy outside my door.
And it's basically like an inflation like shrink, so that you don't have 460,000 health anymore. You have like 5,000.
Hmm.
So it's just like it's going from like doing 30,000 damage in an auto to doing 500, so that the shrink is like it helps with balancing weapons and balancing items, because you have all these 15 years of DLCs and expansions and gear and stuff that's leveled for, like DLC from maybe a 2012 DLC would be geared only towards that stuff, so that stuff becomes useless after a certain time, and now they're trying to crunch that all together and make it so it's all
Oh.
of it's useful now. I think
Something
that's a
that
good,
Destiny could never do.
yeah, which is I think is a nice thing, because there's like really classic weapons and stuff that people love to use, and now that it's crunched back to the original level 1 to 60, you can use those items in current content, which is what a lot of people do enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, I would prefer that. If Destiny had had that option at like from the start, As soon as year 2 came out and all of the good shit was no longer viable, it just went downhill.
For what game?
Yeah, I
Destiny.
Destiny.
Oh. No,
Their gear system was just all over the place. It always changed. Every single DLC expansion, there was something different. They either changed the way you upgraded the items and the gear and the weapons, or they changed the item levels and light levels. I think that's what they called them, the weapons. And then they made some just completely useless from previous raids. I stopped playing after I think it was that Lord, the banner. I forget what the hell they're called. The Iron Lords.
Yeah, the Iron
The
Banner,
last
I think.
expansion, Iron Banner Lord. That last expansion, I think it was the last. And then before that, all the vaulted glass weapons and stuff was pretty like top of the level.
Mhm.
And then that they shrunk the gear from that to be useless in current content in the last DLC. So that was like a year and a half of grinding content that was just thrown out the window because they're like, we want you guys to use this stuff now because this is our most recent expansion. It just felt weird
Yeah. It's kind of depressing.
using like Yala Horn and all those really cool weapons and stuff like that that you had from the last one. The items level, all I think it was like all gear too, and all gear shrunk like level wise. You had to go regrind all that content, and it just felt like a mobile game at that
Yeah,
point.
every year.
Oh, you enjoy grinding for the same stuff every week for the raid and not getting it? We've got the content for you.
It's like, guess what? We reset
What's the
all of your gear that you worked so hard to
Ugh.
make look cool.
yeah? Oh, you
Yeah.
rated you did this item level for this light level raid. Oh, wow, you're really impressive. That's unfortunately useless now by I don't know. A very bitter taste for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I
As
liked the Destiny one, but I think their last expansion kind of just did weird things.
did not play Destiny 1, but I heard it was good. But yeah, Destiny 2 I did not like very much. It was
Yeah,
just
I liked
Destiny
the
2 did
trial
not
system that they
last.
had.
uh
They made it free.
Yeah.
They made it free on Steam. How do we draw new people that aren't disappointed with our current content to the game again? Make it free.
Re-
Same thing. They
re-
did the same thing with
Free.
Rocket League.
yeah. Well, so Outer Worlds came to PC yesterday. It was released last year, right? I think.
I
Yeah.
think I could play it on the Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass on
Yeah.
PC prior, but
So yeah, so it was, I guess, an Xbox exclusive kind of deal. And you had to
No.
get the Xbox Game Pass in order to play it on PC.
well, for
Oh, on
PC,
PC. Got it.
Yeah.
you can play it on console.
When it originally came out, you had, in order to play it on PC, you had to get the Xbox Game Pass. I wanted to do it, but then I decided I was just gonna wait for it to release on Steam because I was like, I'm not gonna get the Xbox Game Pass and pay a monthly pass just to play this game and not actually own the game. Because then once I get this game, I'm probably gonna put a lot of time into it, like I do all my Fallout games. So I just waited. So finally it came out yesterday, 2 days ago, something like that. And dude, it has been a ton of fun, man. It is definitely the Fallout vibe because it's Obsidian Entertainment, which made Fallout New Vegas and 3, I think.
Yep.
I think that was the only 2 Fallouts they made, though. I don't
They
think they made 1 and 2.
implemented
Did they make 1 and 2? I don't think they made 1 and 2. I think that was a
No.
different company. Yeah. So 3 in New Vegas. So it's got that same kind of feel to it. So if you enjoyed those, and it's got that feel, I enjoy it. But the part that got me that I was not expecting, I knew that it was a Western sci-fi type thing, but I was kind of expecting more Fallout-ish type vibes from it. But then when I started playing it, if anybody's familiar with Firefly, the TV show, dude, it is, no joke, almost, I don't want to say an exact replica of it, but it's very similar to it.
Mega Corporation.
Mega corporations kind of run everything, but
Yep.
when it comes to the characters and the ship that you run a ship, and it's a kind of a small, rundown, beat up ship, which is exactly like the main character, the captain, and his ship on
The
Firefly,
sassy AI.
with the sassy AI. And then on top of that, you also get the first character you get is an engineer, and she's that bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, naive girl who's like never seen never seen outside anything past the walls of this fortress that they live inside of on this barren planet. And then she's like, oh, let me go on the spaceship with you. And you're like, yeah, sure. And she's like, wow, I didn't think you were gonna say yes. And then you take her along, and she's like some genius mechanic, but she's never seen anything outside of the 10 people that live in her town. And I'm like, dude, the similarities here are ridiculous. And then
I
you
really
meet
wanted to ship her until she was a lesbian.
I just found that out today, and I was like, dude, you can't be serious. She's a lesbian.
I was like,
Mezzy was in the college, and I'm like, no, is she a lesbian? And it was like, no, she's in love with the other chick. I was like, oh no, I'm so
That's
sad.
why you make your character female.
Dude,
That's what I did.
My next playthrough, I'm going for it, bro. I'm gonna make her mine. But anyway, then you also meet the Vicar, the priest, and the priest is relatively same storyline and ideals and background as the priest from Firefly as well, Shepherd. And so I was like, bro, there's two characters. It's almost identical to the ones from the show. You're the captain who's an outlaw from who's an outlaw. It's 3 characters out of 5 that are almost the exact same. And I'm like, if I get 5 crewmates, and I checked the ship and you can have up to 5 crewmates, and I was like, bro, I'm telling you, it's just Firefly in a video game. So I've been loving every minute of that game right now, because it is it just hits home on that, like, my favorite TV show. So great. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I played that a while ago when it first came to Xbox Game Pass.
Oh, it was that close, bro. I was so tempted to get it, but I was like, nope, I'll wait. I'm lucky I waited, because it's also on a 50% discount right now. So
it is. So
that was
Pummel
good.
Party.
So was what?
Pummel Party.
Pummel Party?
I was talking about it.
Pummel Party.
It's like $10 right now.
Yeah, I've heard a couple people talking about that recently as well.
Might be some fun.
I just don't know if Pummel Party can beat out Gang Beasts. Gang Beasts is just so good.
Isn't that where you just control like a little creature and you start punching each other to death?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like wacky, crazy, like completely insane room layouts.
Yeah, it's great.
Like a shredding room where like on top of 2 trucks going down a freeway at like 200 miles an hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to avoid the street signs.
That shit is really funny to watch.
It's awesome. It's so good.
They're both only $9 right now, so could be worth it.
The only problem is I don't know if they made Gang Beasts online multiplayer. Because last I played, it was just couch co-op. Or I guess not couch co-op, but
I mean, I see a lot of YouTubers do it. Maybe they do like a connect to their server or something like that, and then I'll play on a like same like a public.
Oh yeah, online PvP. There you go. Oh. That's new, because when I first got it, you could only play couch multiplayer.
Interesting.
But it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I've watched a couple of YouTube videos from people, and I laughed pretty hard at them. It's just so derpy to watch them fight, and that's what makes it so good. One guy is like, you're like, oh, he's gonna do something crazy, and then he just trips and falls, and he just gets blown away, and you're like, oh, never mind.
Yep.
Yep. So that's a good one, yeah. Anything else? Anybody playing anything new besides those couple of games, I guess?
No, but I've been watching Genshin Impact with a careful eye. It's weird to see a gacha
is Genshin
game.
Impact?
It's a Japanese gacha game. Do you know what a gacha game is?
I'm familiar with the term, but I'm not very familiar with what it is.
It's spelled GACHA, but it's meant GOTCHA.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I got you. It's a game that's purposely like set up in a way that makes you want to spend money. And once you have spent that money,
what's it on?
You get
it's not on
maybe
Steam.
Some gear. It's on PC. You have to go download it through their browser or something like that. But I mean, let's look at Twitch right now. I think it's been concurrently top 10 on Twitch.
I've seen a lot of people in Discord playing it. That's for sure.
Last month, probably.
Do they have their own? Oh god.
It is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's 11 right now. It's got 60,000 viewers on it, and it's weird. It's built like an open world exploration game. It's got lots of different characters you can pick from, and they all have unique abilities and stuff
Okay,
that
so yeah,
pair
you
well
have to
together.
download it. Yeah.
I think it's got like pretty decent voice acting for a Japanese mobile games. I mean, it's designed for mobile, but it does better on PC, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been blown up on Twitch. I mean, I've seen people that have spent $5,000, $6,000, big
Dear
streamers that are.
Lord.
I mean, that's what they do. They
Yeah. Yeah.
It's supposed to get you to spend the money so you can get, like, it's like, hey, look, you got this really cool character, and then there's a system in that character itself that you can upgrade certain abilities and stuff in them. If you spend more money and you get a duplicate copy of them, you can like use that to upgrade a certain ability or something like that that does more damage than if you just had the main character alone, which in itself is kind of like scummy in a way. You think like, hey, I got this character for free because I rolled, but hey, this guy has a really much better character version of the same character I have because he spent $2,000 on the game, and it's just how they work.
Good old pay to
Jesus.
win.
Yeah.
I think it's made an obscene amount of money.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, the art looks nice. I'll admit that. Like they've got a really nice art style for the
over
game.
$100 million in less than 2 weeks for a
Jesus.
mobile game
Oh.
company. That's insane.
Absurd. That's
It
crazy.
just goes to show that like you can almost make more off of free games that you just add cosmetics than just a base game. Cause like think about League and Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans, that
Well,
definitely is just
Dota.
speed.
Dota's free as well.
Yeah,
All of the highest paying, like highest tournament winnings and all that stuff, all those games are free.
yeah, and it's all because of cosmetics.
CS:GO is free. Dota's
Yeah,
free. League of Legends is free. Fortnite was free.
ridiculous.
Those are the those are 4 or 5 of the biggest games that have touched us in the past 10 years. CS:GO older than that, but I mean
I don't know
CS:GO
who's
stuck
touching
around.
you. I don't know who's touching you, but they're definitely not touching me.
Hey man, if they've got that much money, they can touch me wherever.
It's fine.
But yeah, I mean, it is kind of weird how the free to play games are making more money than regular games. But
It's crazy. It's a weird thing. I'm trying
I
to
think
find.
it's the issue is I think you get people who are more inclined to spend money on a free to play game because they didn't already drop $60 for the game, right?
Yeah,
So it's kind of like, oh, well, I didn't have to pay $60 for it, so I'm willing to spend $60 to buy cosmetics. And then at that point, you've already got shit, and you're like, oh, I've already bought stuff, may as well buy more anyway. That's usually how it goes, right?
Yeah, that's what they
It's like gambling. I'll start with $20, and then it turns into fucking 100.
They make these little banners that are, certain characters have higher drop rates than other ones. And it begs you to spend more money. It's like, hey, you could have one of these characters, but if you get the max upgraded, you'll do a lot more damage. You can clear through more content.
All you need is $5 more bucks.
In reality, you don't need to spend $1 in that game. I've seen people that have spent, like I said, upwards of $5,000, $6,000 to get gear and characters and stuff like that to go through content because there's 5-star, 4-star. You know the whole tiering system that people do these days. Certain 5 stars are better than the 4 stars. So if you get those 5 stars, you can clear more difficult content. The thing called the spiral abyss, I think, is like their dungeon system where you go deeper and deeper, and the harder it gets, the more you go.
More games,
And
more RPG games need something like that. I'm sorry. It makes me think of Den Maki, the anime, where they all go into that big ass dungeon and it's all about clearing floors. And I'm like, dude, I would love a game like that.
It almost like speaking to, we're gonna go back to what Turtle said at the very beginning of this, where he said he was watching Sword Art Online.
Sword Art Online.
It's like Sword Art Online. You're clearing floors to get to higher floors to get better content.
Dude, more games need to do that. And as weird as that sounds, it's like I if they just made a tower where it was literally just an infinite tower, where the floors just kept going, and it wasn't even like, oh, you're on level 1 of 50, right? It was just like level 1, and then you beat it, and you can leave the tower, go buy an upgrade gear, come back, and you're like, all right, I want to go. But it's like, okay, we've only beaten level 1, so you can only go to level 2. But you beat 10 floors, and then you leave, and then come back, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna skip floors 1 through 10. I'm just gonna start at 10 and try to go higher, and just make a game where like that's all you do is just go
You
in there,
say
they just
that,
get harder.
you underestimate how special, and I say special lightly to not say something different, how special some people can be when it comes to these types of games. There's a full Reddit that was created day 1 for this game, where people are creating a map on the web browser of the whole map and locating these little chests you can unlock to get stuff, locating every single chest on the map and pinpointing them, and then creating farming routes for those chests so you can get the most optimal use of your time, and then doing the same thing for bosses. And I mean, people are
Yeah, no, I mean
like,
that's fine, but like if somebody made a, I don't want to say an anime style game, but more of, if somebody made almost a, maybe not Fallout quite, it's hard to, the easiest way to describe it is like Sword Art Online. If somebody made that into a game, but literally just the idea is just to go into a tower that all it does is infinitely scale enemies to be harder and harder and just give you different map layouts.
I mean, WoW is doing that, not different map layouts, but WoW is doing that with the next expansion. They're doing a mobile design, dungeon based level things, tier system.
If they, I mean, doing something like that literally gives you an unlimited playtime, but also gives you that like
What are they gonna call
anime
it?
video game movie idea where you feel like you're just infinitely grinding for this, to become this all-powerful person. And that way one day you can, you look at your friends and like, yeah, I've made it to floor 100. You're like, I've made it to floor 1000. It's like this just ridiculous crap, but it's like, I wouldn't mind doing that. That'd be a good solo thing to do in my free time when nobody's on.
Yeah, it's
I
called
wouldn't mind.
Torghast. Looks like
What's it called?
Torghast Tower of the Damned.
Yeah. That'd be
And
cool.
it
I'm
seems to be
interested to see it.
like a where you get buffs for each level. So if you wanted to do more, I guess it's based around your character as well. So if you have like a druid, it'll probably give you stuff that'll buff certain skills in your druid or debuffs or something like that. I don't know. It seems like it could be an interesting thing for them to do. I think that was one of the positives that they got from Shadowlands that BFA didn't have. It's been a while since World of Warcraft has released a good expansion, unfortunately.
You telling me
But
the pandas weren't good?
the Panda expansion actually was probably one of one of the more recent ones. That was in 2013, I think, or 2012. That was
Oh
one
my
of the more recent
god.
ones. That was actually a good expansion. People, they people hate on the pandas. They're like, why would you put pandas into a classic, you know, fantasy RPG?
Hell, that almost
And
got me to get into it.
the answer is like I don't know. Maybe they just wanted. I don't know what the motive was for why they chose pandas, but apparently the dungeon system, the PvP, the rating was all really good in that expansion.
Hmm.
And then what came after that? I think it was either Cataclysm or WAD. I'm not sure which. They might have been WAD. WAD was a absolute toilet fiesta. It was bad, notoriously bad. They tried to implement like a housing system for WoW, and it just didn't work. But yeah, no. I'm hoping for good. I mean, they delayed the patch, so maybe good. Maybe they're realizing that it's not ready quite yet. It's supposed to come out like in the next 2 or 3 days, I think, but it was delayed. They weren't ready.
That all went about 1,000 feet above my head because I think the last time I touched WoW was 2005.
I've never
Oh my
touched it.
Classic,
god.
classic,
So
classic. Wow.
just saying that was like
I was
ultimate
8
classic.
years old. I was not old enough to even know what WoW was at that point.
All I
I've never
remember
touched it.
all I remember is that my buddy and we got to his house, we went and shopped and we got a whole bunch of snacks and shit. And then we were up for like what, 72 hours straight.
Like the good
Yeah,
old
right,
days
right,
of
right.
grinding
gaming.
classic WoW, and then after that day, I closed it and said I will never play it again because I lost 72 hours of my life to it.
Oh.
It was a good game on
So
launch. It was. I mean, there's a reason it has so much nostalgia with people, and the fact that they even brought it back
I don't think WoW has
15 years
nostalgia. I
later.
think the only time I've ever heard people talk about WoW was how WoW took over their life and they lost years to it.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
was it.
nostalgia.
I've never
People think that's
I've
nostalgia.
never heard wow, I remember playing WoW. That was the best days of my life. No, it was yeah, I quit my job and I spent 5 years playing this game. I don't know where those 5 years went. I lived in my mom's basement. I lost my wife. It was awful time.
It's
That's all I ever
memories.
hear about it. I'm like, how addicting was that game? Like that must have been insane.
It was huge for its time. Graphically, it was huge. Their spec system and their character design system were really good, and people were.
I mean, that's like a pandemic on
Excited.
its own without even like actual disease. Just people just choosing not to show up to work anymore. They're like, what happened to them? Probably got sucked into WoW.
You know how many people like the WoW forums when they said they're delaying the release of Shadowlands was riddled with people that were so upset that they took the week off to play the game and now can't play the game because it's not gonna be out by the time.
Yeah.
They're like, I took off my week of work so I could play WoW nonstop 24/7 for a week, and you're telling me it's not ready yet? It's like,
So they call the
oh,
boss back up. Yeah, I'm ready to come back to work. I thought you needed a break. Later.
Give it
Later.
another 2 3 weeks.
I'll let you know when I need to take the break whenever this announcement comes out.
I'll give you a 24-hour notice.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, that's wild.
Yeah.
I think the sad part is the only thing I remember from the freaking game is doing all the support stuff like cooking and fishing and
Professions.
doing all the professions. Like that's literally all I remember of it. Like I was the person of the group that had the
Were
food.
you ever a mage? Did you have a mage friend?
Uh,
Because the mages could conjure free food,
I
and then
don't,
you would sell
I don't
that food.
think
It
so.
was like a built-in like commerce system where you could be like, "Hey, I'll conjure you some free food if you give me a gold." They would sit in
I
middle
guess
of the
Wow,
towns and do
this
this.
thing
I
that
guess I
I can
didn't
do
know
for
that.
free, you'll pay me for, huh?
Yeah. Some people would like max their professions and then just sit in like very early beginner spots. So if they're an alchemy trainer, you could make potions. You said you bring me the materials, I'll make you the potions for a discounted price.
A
Like
discounted price.
full on like black market
Just
like
barter.
dealings. And it happened in classic release too, like the current one. You should
People
have seen
upgraded and then or like, yeah, I'll do it for free or at a
some of
discount.
the images for the release here this year or last year were hilarious. Like I remember there's several pictures of like there'd be rare mobs or like quest mobs you'd have to kill, and they'd have like a 2-minute timer, and there'd be like 300 people in a line, like one by one, single file in a line, waiting their turn to kill the mob when it spawned. It's just like pure autism.
That's crazy. I would never stand in line in a video game. Like, why you're in a video game, bro? Come on. Just walk up and smack it and leave. Dear Lord.
Let me see if I can find an image. It was it was hilarious. Here's one. Here, I'll send it to you in the pub podcast. It just people waiting in a line for a mob.
Oh God. Yeah,
And
it's just that's crazy.
it happened like everywhere. It was not just one. It was concurrent. Like people people waited in line to do this. It made me laugh. It made me realize how special people can be when it comes to these games. It's part of the
This
fun.
video, I'm going to send you a video. This is the video that the only thing I can ever think of when somebody says World of Warcraft. And if you decide to put it in the actual podcast, it's the gist of it is The Onion did a World of Warcraft like release video, but the new game was called The World of Warcraft. And the entire goal of the game was that you were the person playing World of
World of
Warcraft.
Warcraft. So it's like Sims.
Yeah,
the
it's like
fuck?
Sims, but you like if you hit W, the character in the game hit W, and then your character on the screen would run. It's just like it's really funny.
Oh my
Oh
hell.
Lord. That's like, how can I double farm in World of Warcraft? Log into your account inside of another video game and then just grind in 2 places.
It's crazy. That game has a very crazy fan base that are
Very
absolutely
dedicated.
just deer in headlights, tunnel vision focused on the game.
Yep.
And if you say something bad about it, they will snipe you out of the air. They will take you out. It's like the K-pop army, whatever the BTS, BTS, whatever the hell it's called.
K-pop stands, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen some people on Twitter that were like, do not mess with K-pop. They're like, look, it's K-pop stand. Twitch is doing K-pop stuff. People on Twitch, if you are not aware of it, do not make fun of it. You will not enjoy it. And I was like, boy, you just don't say anything bad about K-pop stands, because goddamn, they will roast you.
And then they'll post a like 2-minute video of someone dancing for you. They'll be like, you're an idiot, but here's a picture of this guy dancing for 2 minutes just to let you know I'm a K-pop fan. Make sure you know. As if it's not evident on my picture on my profile, my name.
You will never live a normal life if you ever make enemies out of them. That is a rabid fan base, that is for sure.
Mr. Beast did a like $10,000. Whoever matched him or beat him in likes to ratio in his tweet would get to $10,000, and it was between like some BTS foundation and some YouTuber. I forget what his name was, but like it was the comment section was just cancer. It was like
I bet.
It was like people that were okay with like the YouTuber getting it. It was people that absolutely despised K-pop people and were going on every post and calling them like degenerates and losers and stuff. And then just like 10 lines of them just sending pictures and stuff of the same thing video and being like, you can't control all of us. Like getting death threats and messages. It's just the most crazy thing. People they're like creating new accounts, sending up emails and stuff just so they can like the picture or the tweet, so they can get more likes, so they can support their BTS tweet. It's just
Dude,
absolutely
they will
crazy.
go to all links, man. It's just that is a wild fan base, that is for sure.
I just don't understand it. Like I've not seen that happen with any other.
It doesn't exist anywhere else.
It's like
it is only them.
Not from music, not from games. Games to an extent, maybe if it's like an older game like WoW, but even then, they're like hive mind. Like they're not differing opinions. Like okay, WoW was okay this time period, and now it's bad. But they're like no, BTS, K-pop is good now, and it will always be good. And if you hate them, I'm gonna send you messages for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
it's just
pretty wild.
Very weird stuff. But more power to them. I don't want to be. I'm not gonna stir any hive's nest. I don't want to. I don't want any of that in my life.
I like to live my life. Dude, I can't say that I like dislike K-pop. I mean, I don't know much about it though, to be fair. So
it's
like
it's boy bands, but Korean.
Yeah, that's that's the only thing that I'm aware of. Is it's boy bands but for in Korean, or I don't know. Is it just Korean?
Yeah, that's K. That's the K.
The
closest
Korean
I
pop?
got to listening to Korean pop music was when League of Legends released their KDA song, which I think was like 4 Korean girls that collaborated. Which is actually
I'm just not a big music person in general, but I actually did not mind the KDA music for League of Legends. It wasn't
awful. To be fair, League's is so much better because they actually implement. It's not K-pop. It's
it was like a mixture. It wasn't just purely Korean rap. It was English with a mixture of Korean rap, just lightly sprinkled in there a little bit with the Kali.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay. There's still the thing that even I still cannot get over. It was the fucking holograms though for the 2018 Worlds. That shit was so cool. I was
It
like,
was cool.
there's no way this is real. This is CGI. And you're like, no, that was there. And I was like, that's fucking wild. So
It was
I
really
just
cool.
they have shit like that, and I can't believe that we don't make movies 3D projection of just that. Like go into an like instead of watching a play, people putting on a play, why do we not do plays just made out of those?
I
Like
thought
that would be
Disney did
so
it.
much better to be fucking.
I thought
I would
Disney
watch the
did it
shit
with
out of that.
Sunrise or something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did it with Frozen. That would be the show to do it with. I'm sorry. They just have such a big fan base, and I'm like, if they made a Frozen like hologram movie that they played on out of projectors to the front stage, like that shit would make them so much money. Even I would go pay to see that. I mean, shit. I just want to see the technology and work, but goddamn. And for anybody that doesn't know, I'm pretty sure it was. If you want to know what we're talking about, it's the 2018 Worlds.
It was, yeah, it's KDA. Just look up 2018 Worlds KDA or something like that.
Yeah, for League of Legends, and it should pop up.
You can probably show
They
it
had
on
they
the
had
video
the
if you
4
want.
KDA members, real life members singing, but then they also had their they also had 4 in-game KDA character skins as holograms dancing on the stage in broad daylight, and it wasn't like they were transparent or anything like that. Like they were like pretty much like solid looking people up there, and I was like, that's impressive. Because we just haven't seen anything else like that technology wise.
I think the other song was there as well. The other band that did the other song for that year, and it was just nothing compared. It was just like going to a concert and watching bunch of guys scream into a microphone and sing.
Yeah.
It was just not nearly as
I'm sorry,
intriguing to look at.
there's no way. That is like absolutely, that's the type of shit that should be on the fucking like Super Bowl, bro. Like I'm sorry, but we've got these shitty shows that go on the Super Bowl, and then that came out for League of Legends, and I'm like, this is the type of shit that even if you weren't interested in League of Legends, you would still watch.
It's
because it would just be cool as hell.
It's because the NFL is appealing to an older audience, usually like 35, 40 plus, as well as their kids, whereas League is primarily younger people. And so they're like, hey, let's do some sick ass shit that can actually impress people rather than a 30-year-old performer that was popular, well, 30 years ago. Like, fuck off.
I just like I remember when I was younger and I was in high school. I remember being excited. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I really didn't give a shit about the Super Bowl, but I loved watching the ads and I loved watching the halftime show. And then just like as it went on, I just stopped watching it entirely because I was like the ads are still good, but the ads go to YouTube afterwards, so I'll just wait afterwards. But the halftime shows were not even good to watch anymore. So I was like,
Yeah.
I have absolutely no reason to come watch the Super Bowl. Like if the
Not with
halftime
football
show
period
isn't
either.
even, at least if the halftime show was half good, I might be willing to sit down for the end of the third quarter and start of the fourth quarter and hang out with the family. But like, if the halftime show is bad, I'm just gonna go play video games. Fuck that.
My favorite were the Doritos ones are pretty good.
Always.
Doritos is always good, yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, most Super Bowl commercials are usually really good. That's like companies usually save their Super Bowl commercials for the Super Bowl,
really
and you don't see them.
Like beyond, they're they don't follow the whole standard of being normal. They're like, how can we just throw a curveball in here or make a meme of ourselves?
Like the baby monkey, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit was weird. I remember
That
when
shit
that one was
was
popping.
weird.
E-Trade was one my mom always liked. The E-Trade with the babies.
Durex by far made the best Super Bowl commercial.
Of course it did.
Durex,
Dude, oh my god, it's so good.
I haven't
it's
seen
so
it. I'll have
good.
to look it up.
Hold on, I'll link it to you. I'll link it
Alright.
in the channel.
Group chat. All right, I'll have to watch it after the
It's
podcast.
like when it first came on, you kind of had to like look at it twice because you weren't really sure what you just watched. But it ends up it's pretty fucking funny.
That's pretty good.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. Now there are 3 of them. Oh my god.
Like
How
like
did,
it just
how did that get through?
I don't that's what I'm saying though. Like how I just didn't understand.
This have you seen, do you know the Skittles one that they banned?
No, I've seen it.
Yeah,
I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
where he's doing the naughty deed and then he ejaculates Skittles into her mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
You're like,
Yeah.
like I was like, oh, okay. You know, I mean, I could have been older than like 50, like 12 or 13. I was like, all right,
All right.
all right. I wish I could do that.
How do I get that skill?
Has Skittles related wet dream that night?
Now they're weird. Now they're like people picking off like Skittle warts and stuff. Like that doesn't make me
Yeah,
want to
that
eat your
one's that
candy.
does not make me want to eat that. Every time I saw that one, I was like, "That's nasty."
It's like Skittle
Skittles
pox.
pox.
Like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like,
Skittles
what?
box, and he picks it off her face, and he's like, "Is it contagious?" And I was like, "Hmm."
Only thing contagious is your poor
Yeah.
brain.
That one made me not want to eat Skittles. I think they were so focused on just big. I don't even know what made them think that was a good idea for
It
a
was like-
commercial. It must have just been the shock factor of like
Yeah, but
being
it's
so weird.
It's a fucking candy.
Yeah, I know. That's what
Like,
I'm saying. Like the shock factor, they must have been like, "Oh, the shock factor will get people to look at us again."
Cool if it was in
Like-
collaboration with
But
like
here's
a zombie
here's the
movie.
thing. Here's the thing though, like it obviously had to work. Because
mean,
if
yeah,
it
I'm
didn't if
sure.
it didn't work, they wouldn't have kept playing it.
And I wouldn't have remembered.
So
I wouldn't have remembered it either.
Yeah, but I mean, you're probably right. All I know is for me personally, I did not go buy Skittles after watching it.
I think Skittles are bad. Sorry.
I guess Skittles free at work.
Do you
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
an almond
the
joy kind of guy.
the only candy that I really go and buy is Reese's peanut butter cups. I fucking love those.
I enjoy a
Ooh,
good
we get
Butterfinger.
peanut butter M&Ms.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Peanut butter M&Ms are good. I like
Yeah.
the Reese's Pieces. Those are enjoyable.
This all comes back to gaming somehow or another. We'll figure that out later.
We just tangented
We've
it off
devolved
of.
into candy.
We'll
we
let
went
let
from-
the audience figure that one out. All right, you guys can tie the connections in somehow on how it all relates to gaming. Maybe there'll be future sponsors one day.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
That'd be nice.
Sponsored by Reese's.
That'd be great. Get myself a Reese's mini fridge for the background.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of a Monster mini fridge, get a Reese's one. That'd be cool. Well, I've got nothing else to talk about. I think
Yeah,
that's
I'm
it for
out.
me. You guys got anything else?
No, I'm pretty good.
Good.
That's pretty good. That was about an hour too, so
Jeez.
we'll call it there, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.